At the Lunar Surface Innovation Consortium meeting, John Coularis, Blue Origin's Vice President of Lunar Permanence, presented the latest information about the company's moon lander contracted by NASA for human lunar landings under the Artemis program. The presentation video is linked in the description for those interested. This overview covers Blue Origin's Blue Moon Mark 1 and Mark II lunar landers. The Mark 1, a robotic lander similar to those from Intuitive Machines and Firefly, delivers scientific payloads. On the other hand, the Mark II supports human missions and, in its cargo variant, transports heavy payloads like habitats and rovers to the lunar surface. The Mark 1 can land 3 metric tons, that's about 6,600 pounds, on the moon with a precision of approximately 10 meters or 32 feet. Currently, 2 Mark 1 vehicles are under construction to ensure rapid iteration. If the first landing attempt encounters issues, the second vehicle, including lessons learned, will be ready to launch within 6 to 8 months. The first Mark 1 is set to leave the factory in about 6 weeks, with its launch scheduled a few months later. The Mark II lander is a much larger vehicle and will eventually land astronauts on the moon as part of the Artemis program. It can land 20 tons on the moon in reusable mode and 30 tons in expendable mode. Blue Origin plans to share updates on the Mark II in a presentation in the coming months, perhaps including some hardware. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm not going to cover updates on the Cislunar Transporter vehicle in this video, as I want to make a separate video just on this vehicle, as it has implications that go beyond just the moon. Jackie Cortez, Blue Origin's Senior Director of Civil Space, stated that the company aims to conduct an uncrewed test landing of the Mark II and a crewed landing before the decade's end. The Blue Moon Mark I robotic lander shares key technologies including the BE-7 engine with its larger counterpart, the Mark II. At the Lunar Surface Innovation Consortium meeting, John Coularis announced that the Mark I is set to make its debut flight in 2025. Last year, NASA awarded Blue Origin a task order through its Commercial Lunar Payload Services, or CLPS program, to deploy a camera payload on this mission. John Coularis said, "This will land this year on the south pole of the moon. The vehicle is getting ready to ship out of our factory in Florida in about 6 weeks. We should be launching a few months after that." Unquote. Following thermal testing at NASA's Johnson Space Center, the Mark I will return to Florida for launch aboard Blue Origin's New Glenn heavy lift rocket. The journey to the moon will take 7 days, transiting cislunar space before entering lunar orbit and landing. Coularis emphasized a robust development approach. "We're building intentionally now to get hardware rich. If the first mission is not successful, we'll learn from it. We'll learn from the objectives we succeeded in and the ones we didn't succeed in, and we'll incorporate those into the next vehicle." Unquote. Jackie Cortez, Blue Origin's Senior Director of Civil Space, added, "Ideally, we'll have a successful first mission of Mark I, incorporating any findings and be able to fly again," she said. "If it is not successful, we'll have another lander ready to go. That was something that was really important for us." Blue Moon Mark I and Mark II key differences. The Blue Moon Mark I and Mark II lunar landers serve distinct roles within NASA's lunar exploration plans, with the Mark I resembling other robotic landers contracted under the Commercial Lunar Payload Services program. The Mark I is a single-use lander designed to deliver payloads to the lunar surface without the capability to take off again. It performs all maneuvers after translunar injection using a single propellant load, powered by one BE-7 engine, and requires a single launch on Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, fully fueled. In contrast, the Mark II is a reusable lander built for human missions and heavy cargo delivery. It can land up to 4 astronauts on the moon, supporting both equatorial and polar missions. After completing its surface mission, the Mark II has sufficient propellant for liftoff. Return to a near rectilinear halo orbit and loiter there. It can dock with NASA's Gateway and Orion spacecraft, await crew arrival, or be refueled for additional missions. The Mark II requires 4 to 8 refueling flights, though this number may change. Development of the Mark II lags several years behind the Mark I, reflecting its greater complexity and reusability demands. Let's go over some of the milestones for Blue Origin's lunar lander system. Blue Origin advances large cargo lander for NASA's Artemis program. NASA has given Blue Origin, as well as SpaceX, authority to begin design work on large lunar cargo landers needed for the Artemis program. Habitats and rovers are expected to be much too heavy to be landed using the existing robotic landers currently used or under development. Blue Origin's cargo lander builds on the Blue Moon Mark II human lander design, modified to eliminate life support systems and the addition of a payload deployment feature. This high degree of commonality with the crewed Mark II streamlines development. Under NASA's Artemis campaign, these cargo landers will enable long-term scientific exploration by delivering critical infrastructure to the lunar surface. Blue Origin is adapting its human landing system developed under an existing NASA contract to create a cargo variant capable of landing 12 to 15 metric tons, that's 26,000 to 33,000 pounds, on the Moon, starting no earlier than the Artemis 7 mission in 2032. Lisa Watson-Morgan, Human Landing System Program Manager, said, "It's essential that NASA has the capability to land not just astronauts, but large pieces of equipment, such as pressurized rovers, on the Moon for maximum return on science and exploration activities. Beginning this work now allows SpaceX and Blue Origin to leverage their respective human lander designs to provide cargo variants that NASA will need in the future." Unquote. It seems likely that the new US administration will make major changes to the Artemis program. While Artemis II and Artemis III appear secure, the Orion spacecraft, Space Launch System, and Gateway Lunar Station are likely to be scrapped after the first human landing. It's not clear what these changes, if enacted, would have on the Artemis program and Blue Origin's efforts. Upcoming missions for Blue Moon Mark I. Blue Origin shared a photo of gaseous hydrogen-oxygen reaction control system thrusters, which are now ready for installation on the Mark I lunar lander. These thrusters enable precise landings anywhere on the lunar surface and use the same propellant as the main BE-7 engine and the fuel cell battery system that enables the lunar lander to handle the lunar night. Hydrogen and oxygen can be produced on the Moon, enabling the Blue Origin Mark II landers to be reusable once lunar resources can be processed. What do you think of Blue Origin's plans for landing on the Moon? Do you think they can provide a commercial lunar service for private companies, or will it just be for NASA? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Space News Live is on Saturday evening or Sunday morning, depending where you're watching from. I recap the videos I posted this week, answer questions, respond to comments and chat messages, cover any missed news, and preview upcoming content. I'd love for you to join if you can. Be sure to like and subscribe so you'll see our upcoming videos. We make videos every week covering the space industry, with an emphasis on the smaller space startups that aren't covered so well on other channels. See you soon.